When someone achieves immense success, it's easy to assume they were always successful. However, that's rarely the case. Even the most successful individuals have faced numerous failures throughout their lives, often stumbling many times before achieving their breakthrough. These setbacks help them develop emotional resilience and confidence. Here are some notable failures experienced by highly successful people. We hope their stories inspire you, boost your confidence, and motivate you to keep going despite any setbacks. The best part? They failed in the very areas where they eventually excelled the most. Simone Biles didn't make the U.S. women's junior national team. Simone Biles is celebrated as the most decorated gymnast in World Championships history, according to Olympics.com. She holds the record for the most world gold medals, making it surprising that she didn't qualify for the U.S. women's junior national team in 2011. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, Biles shared how this setback motivated her to train harder. Despite the initial disappointment, she placed third in the U.S. Junior All-Around in 2012. The following year, she won the U.S. Senior All-Around for the first time, a title she would claim 4 times. A true icon in gymnastics, Biles was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2022. Sha'Carri Richardson did not qualify for the championships. Sha'Carri Richardson made history in 2023 by winning the women's 100 meters at the Track and Field World Championships in Budapest, earning her the title of the fastest woman in the world. However, many recall her past setbacks, including the invalidation of her win in the 2020 Olympic trials. She faced a 30-day suspension and was unable to compete in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Additionally, she failed to qualify for the 2022 World Athletics Championships. Despite these challenges, Richardson persevered and ultimately broke Florence Griffith Joyner's 35-year-old 100-meter dash record to claim her iconic title. Martin Luther King Jr. got a C in public speaking. One of the most unforgettable moments of Martin Luther King Jr.'s life is his "I Have a Dream" speech. However, Dr. King wasn't always a skilled public speaker. According to the National Museum of African American History and Culture, he received a C in his public speaking course during his first year at seminary school in Chester, Pennsylvania. Despite this failure, Dr. King was undeterred and went on to become a straight-A student and the class valedictorian. This below-average grade did not hinder his oratory skills, as he delivered over 2,500 speeches throughout his lifetime. Michael Jordan didn't make the varsity team. Michael Jordan didn't make the varsity basketball team in his sophomore year of high school. Instead, he started for the junior varsity team for several reasons, as his former coach explained to Forbes. The varsity team had many seniors. Jordan was only 5'10" at the time, and playing on junior varsity gave him more time on the court than being a varsity bench warmer. While some might see this junior varsity status as a notable failure, it ultimately benefited him. According to biography, Jordan went on to win 6 NBA championships and 4 MVP awards, and was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. 12 publishers rejected J.K. Rowling's original Harry Potter. The Harry Potter universe encompasses books, movies, theme parks, toys, stage shows, and more. However, before achieving this immense success, author J.K. Rowling faced numerous rejections. According to Business Insider, she sent her synopsis to multiple publishers and was rejected 12 times. Rowling shared 2 of these rejection letters on social media to inspire other writers, noting that her first rejection letter was pinned to her wall as a reminder to persevere. Millions of fans are grateful she persisted, as in 1997, Bloomsbury Publishing released the first 500 hardcover copies of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. A film school rejected Steven Spielberg 3 times. Steven Spielberg has directed Oscar-winning films and cult classics, but his early days as an amateur child filmmaker did not impress the University of Southern California's film school. Reportedly, Spielberg was rejected 3 times by the university. Despite not having a degree, Universal Studios hired him, making him one of the youngest directors in the 1960s, according to biography. Spielberg eventually received an honorary degree from USC in 1994 and became a trustee in 1996, as reported by the LA Times. Walt Disney's first cartoon character tanked. Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney are inseparable, But before the fame of Mickey, Disney had another character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Universal hired Walt Disney Studios to produce 26 shorts featuring Oswald. However, you might not know Oswald because Universal and the cartoon's distributor, Charles Mintz, forced Walt out and took over the rights to the Rabbit series, according to the BBC. Disney's next creation, a mouse, involved no middleman. As Mickey's popularity soared, Oswald faded into obscurity. Despite Oswald's lack of success, Walt Disney and his subsequent creations became legendary. Apple fired Steve Jobs from his own company. The late Steve Jobs experienced both success and failure. Apple's founder dropped out of college to co-found Apple Computer, but eventually clashed with the CEO he had recruited. According to ABC, Apple's board sided with the CEO and stripped Jobs of his responsibilities. Jobs left without a clear plan, but went on to start Next and Pixar Animation Studios. In 1996, Apple, struggling at the time, acquired Next, bringing Jobs back to the company. He then spearheaded the creation of the iPod and iPhone. Reflecting on his journey, Jobs told Stanford graduates, "I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." Beyonce Knowles' group lost on Star Search. Girls' Time might not ring a bell, but one of its members is well known, Beyonce. The group performed on Star Search in 1993 and lost to a rock band, but Beyonce didn't let this setback deter her. She later joined Destiny's Child, became a successful solo artist, and won multiple Grammy Awards. Beyonce clearly acknowledges her past setbacks. In her song Flawless, an audio clip from her Star Search performance is featured, according to Rolling Stone. Albert Einstein failed his school entrance exam. Albert Einstein is widely regarded as one of the most influential physicists of the 20th century, yet he wasn't always a standout student. After leaving his school in Munich at 15, Einstein took the entrance exam for a polytechnic school in Zurich, failing the botany, zoology, and language sections, although he passed the math section, according to History.com. He continued studying, retook the exam the following year, and eventually graduated despite ongoing challenges. His difficulties in school didn't stop him from developing the theories of relativity and explaining the photoelectric effect, as noted by Biography. Katy Perry sold just 200 copies of her first album. Before becoming Katy Perry, the firework and roar singer was known as Katy Hudson. Her debut gospel album, also titled Katy Hudson, received positive reviews from critics, but did not fare well with listeners. According to Complex, the album was a commercial flop for Red Hill Records, selling only 200 copies. However, Perry eventually turned her career around and became the world's highest-paid woman in music in 2019, as reported by Forbes. Producers rejected 30 of Sylvester Stallone's screenplays before Rocky. Before his overnight success, Sylvester Stallone was a struggling actor desperate for work. He faced numerous rejections, with reports suggesting that 30 screenplays were turned down and that 1,500 talent scouts also rejected him. Despite these setbacks, Stallone wrote the 80-page script for Rocky in just 3 days, according to The Guardian. He insisted on playing the title role, and the film went on to win the Oscar for Best Picture in 1977, beating out Taxi Driver, All the President's Men. Rocky also launched a franchise that solidified Stallone's status as a major star. The Grand Ole Opry fired Elvis Presley. In 1954, Elvis Presley performed a cover of Bill Monroe's Blue Moon of Kentucky at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. His performance was so underwhelming that talent manager Jim Denny reportedly suggested he return to driving a truck, according to Taste of Country. Presley ultimately proved him wrong by signing a deal with the Opry's major competitor, the Louisiana Hayride, for 52 Saturday night appearances. This move launched his career and helped him reach a broader audience. Oprah's first big-budget movie was a flop. Oprah Winfrey's Hollywood career includes TV, books, and 15 movies, but not all of them were successful. Her first major film project was an adaptation of Toni Morrison's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, Beloved. Unfortunately, the movie performed poorly at the box office during its fall 1998 release, as Oprah discussed in an interview with Vogue. Despite the high popularity of her talk show at the time, it couldn't outshine Chucky in theaters. Oprah used this experience to learn a valuable lesson. "It taught me to never again, ever put all of your hopes, expectations, eggs in the basket of the box office," she told Vogue. "Do the work as an offering, and then whatever happens, happens." This approach has clearly served her well. Music played Jim Carrey off the stage during his first performance. It's hard to imagine Jim Carrey as anything but successful and hilarious, but his first stand-up performance was quite challenging. Carrey recounted to people that his initial experience in comedy at age 15 was notably disappointing. He performed at Yuck Yuck's Comedy Club in Toronto, where his act was so poorly received that he was played off the stage and described as totally boring. Despite this setback, Carrey returned to the comedy scene 2 years later in New York before moving to Hollywood, where he made some TV appearances before his big screen debut in Finders Keepers. Only 30 people came to Tyler Perry's first play. Oprah Winfrey shared with her TV audience that writing about challenging experiences can lead to personal breakthroughs, as noted by Biography. This advice inspired Tyler Perry to write a series of letters to himself, which formed the basis of his first musical, I Know I've Been Changed. The show addressed themes like child abuse, faith, and forgiveness, but only drew a modest audience of 30 people during its initial weekend run. Perry financed the show himself and took on the roles of director, producer, and star. Although it struggled in several cities, it eventually achieved critical and commercial success in Atlanta. Perry's subsequent projects introduced the popular character Medea, who has appeared in 10 films known for her humorous and wise one-liners. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and ring the bell for future updates. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to sharing more captivating content with you in our next video. Until next time, stay curious.
Exploring the pinnacle of luxury with Luxury Queen.